Tired of setting goals that fizzle out? You're not alone. Most people don't fail because they lack ambition. They fail because they confuse motivation with direction. They set goals in a rush of emotion, fueled by the desire for change, but they never build the foundation to support that change. Have you ever told yourself, this time it's going to be different, only to end up exactly where you started? Maybe you wrote down a goal, felt excited for a few days, and then watched your energy fade. Or maybe you kept aiming so high, so fast, that you burned out before you ever got close. It's frustrating, it's discouraging, but it's not the end. It's a signal. Your goals aren't broken. Your approach is. Real progress begins when you shift your focus from chasing hype to building structure. When you stop treating goals like wishes and start treating them like promises to yourself. That's where realistic goals come in. Not boring, not watered down, but grounded. Goals that stretch you without snapping you. Goals that make you grow instead of drain you. Ask yourself right now, do I know exactly what I'm working toward? Or am I just hoping something will change? Am I setting goals that fit who I really am or who I think I'm supposed to be? You don't need more inspiration. You need a process that sticks. A method that works not just on your best days, but especially when things get tough, because they will. And when they do, it's not intensity that saves you. It's consistency. It's not just desire that matters, it's discipline. Realistic goals are not the enemy of ambition. They are its engine. When you learn how to build goals that reflect your values, match your strengths, and challenge your weaknesses, you stop floating between dreams and start climbing with direction. So take a moment and ask yourself, are your current goals helping you become stronger, wiser, and more focused, or are they slowly pulling you away from your core? The answers might surprise you, but within that truth lies power, the power to shift, the power to start again, and this time, to do it right. Because the right goal doesn't just push you forward, it pulls the best out of you. Number 1, the foundation of realistic goals. Realistic goals are not small, they're strategic. They don't water down your ambition, they channel it. They stretch you just far enough to grow, but not so far that you snap. A realistic goal respects where you are, while challenging you to reach for where you could be. It's not about playing it safe, it's about playing it smart. Ask yourself, what matters most to me right now? What am I truly passionate about, and how can I shape my goals around that passion? Are these goals a reflection of my values, or are they influenced by expectations I never chose? The first step in building a strong foundation is clarity. Without it, every goal becomes a gamble. But when your goals reflect your inner compass, motivation stops being a struggle. You no longer need to constantly convince yourself to stay on track because your why is already pulling you forward. Now comes self-awareness, the mirror that reveals your current reality. Be brutally honest. What are your strengths? Where are your weaknesses? What tools do you have at your disposal? A goal that ignores your starting point is a recipe for disappointment, but a goal that starts with where you are and moves toward where you want to be becomes a map for real progress. And ask again, am I doing this to become better or just to be noticed? Does this goal reflect the person I'm becoming or the person I'm pretending to be? If you can't answer with certainty, pause. Because rushing into goals that aren't aligned with who you are will only lead you further away from what matters. The foundation of realistic goals is built on honesty, intention, and alignment. Don't just set goals. Build ones that match your values, your rhythm, and your true direction. Number 2, crafting your goal roadmap. Even the biggest goal can feel manageable when it's broken into pieces. It's not the size of the goal that overwhelms you. It's the lack of structure. Without a roadmap, even the most inspiring goal can leave you feeling stuck. Think of your goal as a staircase. The top step is the outcome you want, but the climb isn't one big leap. It's dozens of small, intentional movements. Each step is a decision, a habit, a task. The more clearly you define these steps, the less room there is for doubt to grow. Ask yourself, what is the final result I'm truly working toward? What's one small action I can take today or this week to begin the process? Once you've broken your goal into steps, give those steps a timeline. Without a deadline, a goal becomes a wish. Deadlines transform vague ideas into real priorities. They give you focus. And milestones? They provide proof. Each one reminds you that progress is happening, even if it's slow. Celebrate small wins, not just because they feel good, but because they build trust with yourself. Every step completed is a quiet message. I can do this. I am doing this. But don't forget, life will test your plans, and that's where flexibility comes in. Structure keeps you focused, but flexibility keeps you sane. You'll need both. That's why regular reviews matter. Once a week, or at least once a month, check in with yourself. Is this plan still working? What have I learned and what needs to shift? If something's not working, adjust. That doesn't mean you failed. It means you're adapting. Real growth isn't about sticking to a perfect plan. It's about sticking to your purpose while being wise enough to change direction when needed. Your roadmap is never final. It grows with you. The clearer you are about each step, and the more often you check your direction, the stronger your momentum becomes. Number 3, the power of persistence. Even the most carefully crafted goal will run into storms. Resistance will show up in many forms: doubt, frustration, unexpected challenges. This is where most people give up, not because their goal was unreachable, but because their persistence ran out before the results arrived. So the real question is, how do you keep going when the fire starts to fade? Start with your self-talk. What you say to yourself during hard moments matters more than any strategy. Your internal dialogue shapes your perception, and your perception fuels your behavior. Instead of spiraling into, "This is too hard," or "I don't have what it takes," shift your focus. Ask yourself, what is one thing I can still control right now? What's one small step forward I can take, even if it feels insignificant? Persistence isn't about grand gestures. It's built in the quiet, invisible moments when you choose not to quit. When you show up, even when you're exhausted. When you take action, even when progress feels slow. These moments aren't flashy, but they're everything. Understand this. Motivation will fluctuate. That's natural. It's not a sign to quit. It's a sign to lean into systems. Build habits that support your goal even on the off days. Create daily rituals that make discipline automatic. Track your effort, not just your results. This builds internal proof that you're still in the game. And when you hit a wall, pause. Not to give up, but to remember your why. Ask yourself, what would my life look like if I actually finished this? How would I feel if I finally proved to myself that I could follow through? Let that answer push you forward, because your goal isn't just about achieving something external. It's about becoming someone stronger, more capable, more focused. Persistence isn't about never falling. It's about never staying down. And the more you choose to rise, especially when it's hard, the more unstoppable you become. So every goal you set is more than a task. It's a declaration, a statement that says, I believe I'm capable of more, but belief alone won't carry you. What turns belief into progress is structure, a system built on self-awareness, aligned values, and consistent effort. That's how goals become real. So the next time you feel lost or overwhelmed, pause and ask yourself, are my goals guiding me or silently working against me? You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be constantly motivated. What you need is a process that keeps you steady through the highs and lows, one that reflects your truth, matches your pace, and helps you stretch without snapping. Keep showing up, even when it's boring. even when it's hard, especially when no one's watching. That's when real growth happens. Stay committed, stay honest, and trust this. The future you want is not a fantasy. It's a possibility, waiting for the right roadmap to bring it to life.